What's going on, social media socialites? I am live on one, and I am going live on the other. I am doing a dual live cigar with the CEO. I know it's been a minute, but I'm back with the jump off. Ain't that what they say? What's going on? How you doing, Brandy? How are you feeling today? What's going on, TB family, Trucker Brown family? So I am doing another live. So I am live on my YouTube, and I am live on Trucker Brown's YouTube, and we're talking business today. On Trucker Brown YouTube and on my YouTube, we're talking business. We are talking about how to survive your first year in business. So let everybody get ready to kind of chime in. It says that I have a bad connection. We'll see. What's going on? How are you doing, Larry? Larry is in the building. What's good? What's going on with you, Mr. Shaw? Shaw's in the building. Hey, how are you doing, Shaw? It seems like everybody's showing up. That's good stuff. How you feeling today? What's going on, JD? Black. Jade Black is in the building. How are you doing, Jade? Jade is in the building. Business, yes, that's right. We are talking business today. What's going on, everybody? Who's in the building? TB, what's up, bro? Nope, not TB. What's going on? AJ's in the building. What's good? How are you doing in the Bad Boys in the building? How's everybody doing? So, if you guys are watching me for the first time on TB's channel and you don't know who I am, my name is E.DeanCole, and I own DeanCole Financial. And we are a consulting firm, and we specialize in working capital, alternative finance, and business credit development. That's what I do. So I am live right now. I'm live on Trucker Brown's channel. I hacked Trucker Brown, and I'm live on my channel as well, E.DeanCole, Money Making Motivation. So what's going on, everybody? You got to show the love. I appreciate that. I'm glad that you got to show the love. Good stuff. So we are talking today. It's been a minute since you guys saw me. Last week was Father's Day. So shout out to all the fathers. What's going on? How are you doing in the building? Who's that? If Trucker is in the building. Hey, how are you doing? Glad to finally catch the CEO. Yes, who said that? That is Rock City Trucker. I'm glad that you were able to catch me as well. Cigars with the CEO. Yes. So I am going to toast up this cigar. I don't know if you guys can see. I know you guys can see. This is the Cohiba, the Humidor, the Cohiba. Yes, this is the Cohiba Commodore. And Jay-Z got a new album that's coming out, guys. So that's why I wanted to bring out the Commodore, because Jay-Z has an album coming out. What's going on, everybody? So I am going to do a question and answer series. So Cigars with the CEO is question and answer series, but this is going to be a little bit more than just Q&A. I'm going to talk about how you're able to survive your first year in business. Now, whether you own a cupcake company, cupcake gang. Let's say if you own Woody's cupcake business. So if you own a cupcake business, right? Or if you own a trucking company, or if you own a cigar shop, or if you own a fish dealer, or whatever you own, your first year in business is going to be the same. It's a miscalculated assumption that people, what's going on? Who's that? That's KT Trucker, XT Trucker's in the building. Somebody says, what's up, TB? Nope, James Holler. This is not TB. This is DeanCole. I hacked TB again. So, like I was saying, it's a miscalculated assumption. People think that your first year in business is industry specific. And I'm going to talk about how you're able to survive your first year in business. Like I said, it doesn't matter if it's a cigar shop or if it's a fish distributor, or if you are a Rolex, if you are a Rolex dealer. It does not matter. Your first year in business is going to be your first year in business, period. So we're going to talk about how you're able to survive your first year in business, and we're going to talk about it. Now, once I'm done, I'm also going to take your questions. I'm going to answer your questions. I'm not going to answer them live because I'm using both of my phones. I'm using my phone on the left, which is my iPhone 6 for mine, and I'm using my iPhone 7 for TB. So I'm going to toast up this cigar in reminiscence to to Jay-Z for being a brand new father. And he has a new album that's coming out next week, so I'm excited about that. If there are any Jay-Z fans in the building, if you're a Jay-Z fan, I want you to type Hove. If you are a Jay-Z fan, I want you to type Hove, H-O-V. If you are a Jay-Z fan, I want you to type Hove, H-O-V. Let me know how many Jay-Z fans are in the building. I'm going to go ahead and toast up this cigar. I'm in my living room right now. And I'm toasting up this cigar. Nice, beautiful stick. See the whole fans in the building. I see the whole fans in the building. Okay, I'm going to come back and we're going to acknowledge all the whole fans in the building. Toasting up this nice, beautiful, the Commodore. All right, let's see who's all in the building on TV's channel. Then I'm going to go over to my channel. Let's see how many whole fieldings is in the building. Okay, we got XT3106 says block. Okay, question. I'm going to answer your question at the bottom. Rock City, I'm going to answer your question at the end. Okay, we got Hurt. Let's see. Who's a whole fan over here? We got Nick Rollins is a whole fan. F Trucker is a whole fan. What's that? XT306 is a whole fan. Rock City Trucker is a whole fan. Marl Johnson is a whole fan. Jay Cozart is a whole fan. All right, we got Angie is a whole fan. CJA is a whole fan. Smoke that cigar? Yes, Billy Bob. I'm going to smoke that cigar, my man. All right, so let's see who's all the whole fans over on my channel. Okay, over on my channel, let's see who's in the building. We got Bomb Cherry. Hey, Bomb Cherry, your little cute self. How are you doing? Bomb Cherry is in the building. Bomb Cherry. The Jay-Z. Yes, that's that Jay-Z. Who is that? James Green. Yes, that's that Jay-Z. All right. Your favorite everything. The Assets. Yes, that is one of my favorite ones, Joffrey. That's what's up. What's going on? Darcy Avaganda is in the building. Hey, Darcy, how are you doing today, sir? Or bonjour, comment allez-vous aujourd'hui? You ladies and gentlemen, if you guys want to learn French, and you want to learn French from a true African French gentleman, click Darcy Afaganda. He speaks French fluently. He teaches in French fluently. So bonjour, comment allez-vous aujourd'hui? Darcy Afaganda is in the building. Let's see who else is in the building on my channel. All right, James says Hove. All right, that's good. Bomb Cherry says Hove. Okay, Larry says Hove. That's good stuff. Brendan says Hove. Yes. So Hove has a new album coming out, and he is a new father to some twins. He has a boy and a girl. He has a boy and he has a girl. So I'm doing a cigar with the CEO. This is when I answer your questions live. I do live Q&As. And I'm almost at 3,000 on my channel. So on my channel, when I hit the next milestone of 3,000, I'm going to answer your questions live. This has been sitting in the humidor for a good minute. I got to open up the draw some. So we're going to talk about how to survive your first year in business. So, like I said, if you guys are watching for the first time and you don't know who I am, if you're watching on TV's channel, and if you know who I am, I want you to say know you. All right? If you know who I am and you're watching on TV channel, I want you to say know you. If you do not know who I am, say don't know. On TV's channel, I want you to say know you if you know who I am. If you don't know who I am, I want you to say don't know. So that way I can understand how to do my introduction. And all of you guys that are watching on my channel, E.DeanCole, Money Making Motivation, I appreciate your support. I have been gone like last week. You guys saw the vlog that I did when I went to New Orleans with my baby. So part 2 of that vlog is going to be dropping tonight. And so I've been playing catch up. So I apologize. So everybody that's watching on my channel, Money Making Motivation, I really appreciate you and really appreciate your support. All right, so I see who all the people are on here. Okay, so somebody says boycott Hollywood. Dean Jones says boycott Hollywood. Okay, so Rocky City says know me 100. All right, Roger says know you. Okay, Juan says know me. Okay, Barry says don't know. Okay, that's good stuff. Jamaican says know you. All right. If is that IFFI Trucker? That's kind of funny name. If Trucker says know you. All right. Ray says know you. All right. Indian R says don't know. Angie says don't know. Jamal says don't know. Jay says know you. All right. Monique says don't know. XT says know you. Nick says know you. Okay, good stuff. So I see that most people in here. All right, it says, I hope y'all want to Parkway Bakery. I hope y'all went to Parkway Bakery. Okay, somebody says went to Parkway Bakery. In New Orleans, yes. In New Orleans, we had a very good time. So let's see. Right now on TV's channel, there are 33 people watching and there are 15 likes. Let's go ahead and get those likes up a little bit more. On my channel, there are over 15 people watching. Let's go ahead and get those likes up. So hit that like button right now. I want you guys to engage with me. I want you guys to like. The cost of admission tonight is liking. You got to hit that like button. Just don't look at me. Just don't smile at me. You understand what I'm saying? I want you guys to engage with me. I want you guys to hit that like button. So this week has been a very interesting week for me. I was catching up. I took a couple days off because, like I said, I went to go visit my baby for Father's Day. And last Friday, I was on the road and I didn't get a chance to come back and do my quote-unquote cigars with the CEO or talk about it. Now, if you guys are watching right now on my channel, if you are a CEO or if you are an entrepreneur, I want you to type down boss, B-O-S-S. If you are a boss, if you own your own business, I want you to write down boss. If you own your own business, whether you're watching on my channel or TV's channel. So on Trucker Brown's channel, it doesn't matter if you are owner operator, if you are a chef, or if you are a real estate professional. If you own your own business, I want you to write down boss. I want you to write down B-O-S-S if you are a boss. If you want to be a boss, if you want to own your own business, but you don't own a business, I want you to say, I'm next, all right? So if you are an entrepreneur right now, if you own your own business, whether you are an owner operator, whether you have your own authority, whether you own a bakery, or whether you own a gardening shop, I want you to write down boss. If you want to be, I want you to say, I'm next, all right? Let's see who's all in the building. All right, so people on my channel started chiming in first, so let's see who's all in the building. Let's see who's in the building. Okay, we got Mr. Merritt says boss. We got Dunley Shaw says boss. Bomb Cherry says boss. We got Brendan says I'm next. All right, we got Kosh says I'm next. Ray says I'm next. Juan says I'm next. XT says I'm next. Otto Chris says I'm next. All right, and Angie says I'm next. Sorry about that, guys. All right. So IFFI. Trucker says that future boss. Okay, Blue says I'm next. All right, Ted says I'm next. Nick says I'm next. CJA says boss. All right, what's that? KOLD Venom, Cold Venom. Basically, cold spelled with a K. That's pretty cool. Cold Venom says I own your own design business. Okay, that's good stuff, Cold Venom. All right, P. Field says boss. Michael Jackson was not white, says Dean Jones. Okay, Dean Jones is trolling. So it looks like most of the people on my channel who follow me, E.DeanCole, are bosses. Most people on TV's channel right now, they want to be bosses. So they're coming up. So this is very good for you guys. So if you guys are watching this right now and you want to be bosses, this is very, very good for you. I'm going to tell you how you're able to survive your first year as a business owner. Like I said, it doesn't matter if you're a black, white, yellow, Puerto Rican, or Haitian. It does not matter if you own a trucking company, if you own a car dealership or design company, like my man Cole, who owns a design company. It does not matter. Your first year in business is going to be the same. Now, one of the number one reasons why people fail at businesses is because they don't have the money, all right? That's the number one reason why people fail, is because they don't have the money. Now, have you ever gone or ever heard anybody say it's impossible to get a small business loan? All right. If anybody's ever said that it's impossible to get a small business phone, I want you to give me 3 laughy faces. So tap the laughy face. Give me the laughy emoji. If anybody's ever heard you say it's impossible to get money, because I'm going to tell you the secret on how you're able to get money as a brand new startup business. That's why I want you to get the laughy face. So even if you're watching on my channel, if you've ever heard somebody say it's impossible to get money as a startup business, I want you to give me the laughy face. I just had a client yesterday. I did a one-on-one consultation with her. She just got approved for $20,000 for her business in her business name, brand new business. Well, she's been around for like 7 months. And we are about to get her approved for another $30,000. And I'm going to tell you guys secrets on how I'm able to do this. If you've ever heard that before, I want you to give me the laughy faces, okay? So we see Bomb Cherry's giving me the laughy faces. All right. Dunley's giving me the laughy faces. Okay. All right. Let's see here. So somebody who jumped from one channel to the other channel. That's so funny. Okay, that's so funny. All right. They wrong. Young Bucks with the new album cover. Okay. Cold. I don't understand that one. Okay. All right. So somebody said they want to do trucking. All right. So Ray says gave me the laughy face big time. All right. Nick is giving me the laughy faces. Rock City is giving me the laughy faces. Okay. IFFI. Trucker is on both of my channels. He's giving me the laughy faces. That's so funny. All right. That's good stuff. Hey, brother. How are you doing? All right, let's see here. All right, D is giving me the laughy faces. So this is this thing. Everybody says it's impossible to get money when you are a brand new business. That is true and it's not true. It depends on where you go. Most people, when they want a loan, the first place they go is the bank, right? That's the first place people want to go. They want to go to their traditional bank when they are a brand new business and they want to get funding. That is not the place you need to go to get funding. Let me tell you the reason why. The number one reason why the bank is not the first place to go is because banks like to deal with institutions that have been around for a long time. When you are a business, the first thing you must do is you must create yourself as a business. Like how many people you know that had a great idea, they just started selling albums out of the trunk of their car like Hov did. Like somebody got this great, brilliant idea. Like, oh, you know what? I can go and sell cupcakes on the corner. Or you know what? I can go and I can sell T-shirts out of the back of my trunk. And they just start immediately. Like how many people think that that's the way that you start a business? All right? If you think that that's the way for you to start a business, I want you to give me the thumbs up. If you've ever heard that before, like if somebody's ever said, just do it. Just go out there and just do it. Just start your business. If you've ever heard that before, I want you to give me the thumbs up. Tap the thumbs up button if you've ever heard that before. All right? That they say, just do it. Like Big Baller Brand. Big Baller Brand, they say, oh, you just go out there and you just do it. So let me know if that's what a lot of people do. If you've ever heard somebody say that. The reason why most people say that is because they don't understand how business and businesses work. Okay, I see the thumbs up. I see Blue is giving me the thumbs up. I see, who is that? That's, who is that? Diva is giving me the thumbs up. All right, hey, Mr. CEO, how are you doing? Brian, how are you doing, my man? Shelly is in the building. Hey, Shelly, how are you doing? Thank you so much for watching. All right, Bomb Cherry is giving me the thumbs up. Of course, we got TP is giving me the thumbs up. All right. Rock City is giving me the thumbs up. Okay. So most people here for the first time, you just get out there and you just go do it. And they just hustle. Like everybody loves this whole trap mentality and this whole hustle mentality. Trap and hustle, hustle and trap. But that's not the way that you do it. That's the way that you hustle. But that's not the way that you grow and get funding for your business. The first thing you need to do is you need to create a business. The way that you create a business is you must get a incorporation, whether it be LLC, which is a limited liability corporation, which is my favorite one. It's the cheapest way to go. Or you can get an S Corp or a C Corp. At the end, like I said, I'm going to answer your question specifically, but I'm just teaching the basics right now on how you're able to survive your first year. The reason why you have to get an incorporation first is because once you get an incorporation, you're able to get something that's called an EIN, okay? An EIN stands for an employee identification number. If you have ever heard of an EIN, I want you to say heard. If you've ever heard of an EIN, I want you to say heard. If you've never heard of an EIN, I want you to say never, okay? So let me do a temperature check. Because depending on what you guys know, is you guys dictate the feed. So what I teach is based on on how you guys respond to me, okay? All right, so B Blacks says that he's heard of an EIN, okay? So if you've heard of an EIN, which stands for an employee identification number, I want you to say heard, all right? If you've never heard of it, I want you to say never. All right, so we got James Green says heard. All right. All right, Trucking Diva says heard. Okay, James Bryant says heard. Okay, Juan says never. All right, what is that? Boogie Animus says heard. Mr. FMCS says heard. Angie Austin says heard. Rocky City says heard. Ray says never. IFFI Trucker says never. Okay. All right, Blue says heard. Okay, all right, so Nintendo Simpkins says have one. All right, Nick says got one. Okay, that's good stuff. All right, good stuff. All right, good stuff. All right, we got Day. Day says heard. Black says heard. Black 12 says heard. Heard, but not. Okay, so who's that? That Shelly says that you've heard, but you are retired. Okay. Brendan says heard. Okay. Good stuff. So most of you guys have heard of an EIN. And for the ones who have never heard of an EIN, EIN stands for an employee identification number. It is the exact same thing as your social security number or an SSN. The first thing that people do when they want to check your credit is they want to check your social security number. I'm going to show you guys a trick, the reason why this is very important. So just as a quick recap, if you don't know who I am, like I said, I own a consulting firm. It stands for E.DeanCole Financial. And we specialize in working capital and alternative finance. Now, business credit is something that's kind of new. Anybody that was born before 1979 never knew what business credit was, because business credit wasn't even available until in the 1970s, because that's when the EIN was created. The EIN stands for the Employee Identification Number. Let me show you guys something. Now, if you guys are watching right now, if you're watching right now and you're over the age of 22 and you were born in New York, all right? If you're born in New York and you're over the age of 22, I want you to say NY. I'm going to show you guys something, right? If you are watching anybody right now that is over the age of 22 that was born in either New York or New Jersey, I'm going to show you guys something really cool. I'm going to tell you the first 3 digits of your social security number by where you were born. Let's see, who's that? All right, so Bazert says you from New York, okay? All right, so Bazert, you said that you were in New York. Who is this on the other side? Blue said that you're from New York. All right, so Bazert or Blue, being from New York, all right, the first 3 digits of your social security number is either going to be 050 or 134, anywhere between those lines. If you are watching this right now, and if you're social, and you were born in New York, and you're over 22, if the first 3 digits of your social security number start with either 050 or 134, I want you to say OMG. I want you to say OMG. You're from New York, but you're 21? Okay, so let's see if that'll work for you. All right, so Blue says New York. All right, so if you are born in New York, all right, if you're born in New York above the age of 22, all right, so who is that? 087. See, it's between the numbers of 050 and 134. So who was that said that? That was Craig. Craig says 087. All right, so Blue, you say OMG. Yes. So your social, if you're from New York, is in between 050 or 134. All right. Now let's go down south. How many people are watching that are from Georgia? All right. If you're watching and you're from Georgia, who is that said 069? Okay, Brooklyn, 38, and yours is 087, so it's spot on. Okay, Scott is spot on, it's 122. All right, so Todd says 1069. That's correct, yep. All right, so because of this is the reason why an employee identification is so important. I'm going to tell you guys that bankers could look at your social security number and marginalize you based on where you were from. All right. So who is that? Ray says that you're from New York and you are 059. All right. So that you're from between 050 and 134. All right. OMG, who says that James Green is 133. Okay, that's good stuff. Yes, all states work that way, Cherry Bomb. That's right. All states that work that way. The reason why all states work this way is because when the Social Security Administration created the Social Security number, it was a way of keeping tabs and tracks on people. Now, in the trucking community, you guys know how racist and how not just always racist, but also very cultural. Like people want to fight against flatbed versus reefer or versus dry van. So can you know how people say, you Yankees, you from the North, and then you Southerners, you from the South, and people can marginalize you based on where you're from. If you understand where I'm coming from, I want you to say understand, all right? A lot of people are blind to racism. A lot of people are blind to bigotry. A lot of people are blind to the systems and social engineering. People are blind to that, but the reality is that it exists. I don't care if you like it or not. Guess what? The sun is going to rise in the morning. I don't care if you believe the sun is going to rise in the morning. It is. You can argue things that doesn't matter, but it's just a fact. The fact is having a white shirt. Now, if you're colorblind and you don't want to admit it or you don't want to see it, does not change the fact that my shirt is white. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I said all that to say this. That's the way that the United States of America has been formed. The reason why this is very important is because once you start a business, you no longer have that code that's stopping you. You no longer have, you're no longer marginalized based on where you're from. So that means that if somebody from Alabama was to go to the bank, and if they were going to go to the bank and they were going to apply for a loan, majority of the people who live in Alabama is part of what demographic? Don't worry, I'll wait. Understand, racism is stupid, very stupid, Shaman. Okay, let's see who says that. Big Ahmad says understand. Okay, Keith says woke. That's good stuff. Jamal says understand. Rock City says understand. That's good stuff. All right, so Bella says Southern. Okay. All right, who is that? Let's say Trudy says wow. All right, you said you're a Yankee from Pennsylvania. All right, racism is everywhere, Bomb Cherry. That is very true. All right, Shelly says understand. All right, Pincorp says understand. All right. So I said all of that to say this, that you're able to be marginalized based on where you're from. All right, let's do Florida. How many people in here are from Florida? I'm going to show you. I'm going to do one more time. How many people in here are from Florida? If you are from Florida and you're watching this, even if you're watching this on the replay, and if somebody from Florida, I can't do it unless somebody live does it. You know what I'm saying? But if you are from Florida, I want you to say Florida. All right, let me know some people that's from Florida. Who's from Florida? All right, somebody said somebody's wife. Who says that? Dean, good day. My brother, the wife, and I are all, you're late. Okay. All right, that's okay, Mo 804. That's good stuff. All right, that's all right. Party hard. Mo 804. Okay, that's cool, Mo 804. Okay. All right, so Nick says from Florida. All right, live there is different. Live there is different from where you were born. All right, so Nick, you say that you are from Florida. So Nick, that means that your social either starts with either 261 or 267. All right. If you are older, it's either 261 or 267. If you are younger, closer to the age of 20, that means that your social is either 589 or 595. All right, and if you were one of those baby boomers, that means that your social is either 766 or 772. All right, so somebody says from Florida, who is that? That was D from Florida. Same thing with you. So your social either starts with 261 or 267 or 589 or 595 or in between 767 and 772. And I said 589, boom, 589. I hit it right on the head, Nick. All right, how do I know this? The reason why I know that, Reginald, is because I am the CEO of E.DeanCole Financial. I've been in the banking and finance industry for 15 years. So because of this, that allows me to understand the working. So the reason why I'm saying this, I'm showing you this, is so that you can see the importance of owning a business. Because once you own a business, on paper, underwriters don't see where you're from anymore. They don't see your age. Like the first 3 digits of your social determine your location. The second 2 digits of your social determine your sex, whether you are male or female. And the last 4 digits of your social security number determine they are a randomized number. So your social security number means something. So that's the reason why if you're wanting to survive your first year in business, you cannot be a sole proprietor. You cannot be a sole proprietor. When you are a sole proprietor, that means that you are responsible for your business. In the eyes of the lenders, in the eyes of the banks, you look like somebody from Florida or somebody from New York or somebody from Virginia or somebody from Texas. Anybody in here from Texas? Let's do one last one. How many people in here are from Texas? All right. Okay, Reginald says you never knew that. That's correct. All right. All right, so who says that he is on point? Nick says he is on point. He says, you had to learn a lot, and I'm on point. Okay, who's in Texas? All right, so Rob G is from Texas, all right? So Rob G, being from Texas, that means that your social is, who else is from Texas? All right, so Rob G, from Texas, that means that your social is either going to be between 449 or 467. The older you are, it's either going to be between 449 or 467. If you're older, it's going to be between 627 or 645. Okay, so it's either going to be between 449 or 467, or it's going to be between 627 or 645. All right, so let's see. From Texas, let me know if I'm right or not. Texas, all right, you live there. Now I'm talking about if you were born in Texas. Okay, if that is accurate, I want you to say OMG and let me know. Boom, 452. Love it when I'm right. 452. That's right. So that means that your social is between 449 and 467. All right, let's see on TB's channel. All right, from Texas, okay. All right, from Texas. Who's from Texas? All right, not now. Helpful, yes, it's extremely helpful because I'm going to teach you this is all how you're able to survive your first year as an entrepreneur. All right, boom, so it's perfect. Texas and yours is 636, that's right. So that means you're between 627 and 645, so you're 636. All right, that's good stuff. So I said all of that to say this, ladies and gentlemen. That's the reason why it's important for you to start your business. Because in the eyes of a lender, or in the eyes of an underwriter, you're now cloaked behind your incorporation. When you start a business and you get your EIN number and you are a sole proprietor, you have to personally guarantee every single thing because you are a sole proprietor. But if you are a corporation, if you are a LLC, which is my favorite, or an S Corp or a C Corp, then you're now hidden behind that veil. So now you're able to have what's called a post-randomization number. So anybody that's under that, so anybody that's a new millennial, so if you are under the age of 21, you have what's called a post-randomization number, which is very similar to the Social Security number. So that very similar to the EIN number. There's still some marginalization that goes on there. But your Social Security number, the first 3 digits are going to determine where you're from, where you're located. The second 2 digits are going to determine whether you are male or female. So the reason why I said all of that is I wanted to prove the point to you that people are able to put you in boxes without you even knowing it. So yes, now that this is 2017, yes, racism isn't as strong as it once was, but as you guys can see with Philando Castile, it is very, very real. You understand what I'm saying? Last time I was on this channel, there was this gentleman that just racially profiled me. Because I was African American, he assumed that I was a crook. For no other reason, he just assumed the worst from me. I did absolutely nothing wrong to him. He assumed that because that's just kind of how our society is. Guess what? The banking institution, banking and finance is no different. I said all of that to say this. Hold on for a second. Let me make sure I'm plugged in. All right, I'm about to go to my next point. I said all of that to say this is that surviving your first year as a business, you're going to have to completely separate yourself from your business. When you completely separate yourself from your business, then the banking and finance and the banking institutions, they no longer see a young lady from Texas or a young man from Virginia. They now see this limited liability corporation, or they now see this S corporation or the C corporation, okay? Sorry about that, guys. I'm getting my camera stuff together. I hit the wrong thing. So, all right, if you guys are ready for me to go to the next point, I want you to say ready. All right? If you guys are ready to go to the next point, I want you to say ready. Now, I'm going to answer your questions at the end. So I want you to stay around for the end. I'm going to answer your questions at the end. All right, so if you're ready for me to move on to the next step, I want you to say ready. All right, say ready. All right, ready. Good stuff. All right, ready, ready, ready. You guys are ready to go. Okay, on to the next one. All right, now, so surviving your first year in business, you're going to have to get funding. You're going to have to get funding. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Now, a lot of times people will say go to the banks, but you can't go to the bank when you are a brand new, fresh start business if you haven't set yourself up the proper way, all right? The number one reason why businesses fail is because they are underfunded, all right? Now, I'm going to tell you where you need to go to get funding for your business, depending on what type of business it is. Now, whether you are a trucking company or whether you are a donut shop or whether you are a tailor or a jeweler, it doesn't matter who you are, these are the exact same steps that you're going to do, all right? So what you're going to do is you're going to start off with vendor lines of credit. These are companies that are going to extend lines of credit to you. But the vendors that you're going to get, they need to be strategic and they need to help you and they need to fit under your business type, all right? A vendor line of credit is a line of credit with a company. Like, for instance, in the trucking industry, some very good vendors for you guys in the trucking industry of one, obviously, fuel cards. Companies like Meineke, Firestone, Tires. A lot of times when I talk to my clients in the trucking industry, they want to have these large lines of credit. And I say, okay, well, why do you want to have these large lines of credit? In case something goes wrong, I want to be able to fix it. Well, it's very difficult to get a line of credit when you have no money. I'm going to show you this. I'm going to show you the second way. So the first way, the easiest way, is to open up vendor accounts. Okay, so open up vendor accounts completely separate. Once you have your business set up the right way, you're able to open up vendor accounts. So God forbid, if something were to go wrong with your vehicle, with your truck, a lot of times people want to swipe their credit card and pay for it. Well, guess what? You can also go to Pilot, or you can go to the Flying J, or you can go to Texaco if you have a smaller fleet, you know what I'm saying? Or you can go to Exxon if you have a smaller fleet, if they have maintenance places, and get the work done as well. It's just as good as having the line of credit. The thing about it is that it's safer for the lenders because it's only used at that specific location. So once you have 5 vendor accounts, then you're able to have what's called a paydex score. A paydex score is the exact same thing as a FICO. Now let me stop and do a temperature check, all right? Now we're going to switch to talk about personal credit. Because yes, everyone wants to start their business and they want to use business credit, but personal credit is very important as well. The reason why personal credit is very important as well is because of how my client was able to get approved for $20,000 last night and then got pre-approved for $30,000 today. I'm going to tell you that secret. And after I tell you that secret, then I'm going to answer your questions. So let's do a temperature check. If you've ever heard of a FICO, I want you to say heard. If you don't know, if you've never heard of a FICO, I want you to say never, all right? So if you heard of a FICO and you know what a FICO is, I want you to say heard. If you don't know what a FICO is and you've never heard of a FICO, I want you to say never, all right? So let's see, if it says heard, all right, Craig says heard, all right, that's good stuff. Michael says never, Michael says never, all right, so P says his FICO was 775, that's good stuff. All right, Cherry Bomb says heard, all right, Blue says heard, All right. Jacob Green says heard. Barry says heard. Okay. That's good stuff. All right. So Larry says never. And Michael says never. Okay. All right. Shelly says heard. Okay. That's good stuff. All right. Rocky C. Trucker says never. All right. Larry says never. So what a FICO is, FICO stands for Fair Isaac Company. Okay. Fair Isaac Company is the person who created the credit score. So the same way I was able to use that cool little trick and tell you what your social security number and the area you were from, is you can do the exact same thing with your personal credit, and you can manipulate it because it is a mathematical equation. I'm about to give you guys a fancy word. It's a quantitative algorithm. It's a quantitative algorithm, which basically means it is a fancy mathematical equation. And if you know the rules and if you know what the numbers mean, just like I can tell you what you're from by the numbers, once you know how to manipulate that, you can make your FICO or you can make your credit score, whatever it is. So FICO stands for Fair Isaac Company. Fair Isaac Company. FICO is the person that created the credit score, which is the scoring model when you go to get a loan or you go to get funding. Typically, when you want to get business credit or typically when you want to get a loan to purchase a house, your FICO or your credit score needs to be at least between a 580 and a 620. The difference between a 580 and a 620 is going to determine the interest rate. So after 580, you now qualify for a mortgage. At 580, you qualify for a mortgage. But once you get to 620, you qualify for a better interest rate. And then they have different tiers after that. All right, now if you want to get funding for your business, the exact same thing. You must have at least a 680. If you want to go and get some type of loan, you must have at least a 680, and depending on the different tiers, it goes up from there. And so the same way that I was able to tell you your score, I can also tell you exactly what you need to do to boost your credit score about 100 points, 150 points. I did a live Q&A in I have an online course. So I have an online course that teaches you, how to build business credit that's completely separate from your personal credit. And it also teaches you how to boost your personal credit. And last night, or the night before last, I did a one-on-one with the client. And her credit score went up 200 points through the course because she did what she was supposed to do. And so her score, she started off in the 500s and now she's in the 720 range. And so she was really excited about that. And so I said all that to say that that is the reason why one of my clients was able to get $20,000 in her personal. In her business credit is because there's something that's called credit mirroring. There's a term that's called credit mirroring. And what credit mirroring does, it basically allows you to get larger lines of credit because it mirrors the types of accounts that you currently have. When you have your 5 beginning vendor accounts as a business, right? And it only takes 60 days to get those 5 open lines of credit to report. Once you have those 5 open lines of credit, because of credit mirroring, right, and you're able to clean up your personal credit, that is going to open you up for larger lines of credit. The average line of credit for business, the average is $5,000. So 5 times 5 is what? $25,000. That's average without having to do a personal guarantee, without caring what your personal credit is. Now, let's say, for instance, if you are like the gentleman who has that 700 scores, and you have that 700 scores, then you're able to get $20,000, $30,000, $50,000, $100,000 your first year in business. The way that you're going to survive your first year in business is, one, you're going to have to separate yourself from your business, right? Get your incorporation. I suggest an LLC, stands for Limited Liability Corporation. You can get an S Corp or you can get an INC. I suggest LLC. It's easiest. It's going to protect you. Something you can do on your own. The second thing that you're going to need to do is you're going to have to separate yourself by getting your EIN, your employee identification number. After you get your employee identification number, you're going to get something that's called a DUNS number. DUNS number is going to allow you to report to your business credit, get your 5 open lines of credit, and then you're going to use credit mirroring to get larger lines of credit. Credit mirroring is going to open you up to get larger lines of credit. So you're going to be able to get $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, multiple different lines of credit. So let me ask you this question. For everybody who said that they are a boss, for everybody that said that they want to be a boss, if you could use $100,000, I want you to say 100 grand. If you are watching right now, and even if you're watching this on the replay, because I come back and I answer all of your questions, even on the replay, I'm going to show you how you can get $100,000 in 4 months as a brand new business. I want you to say 100 grand, all right? If you could use $100,000 or 100 grand as a brand new business, I want you to say 100 grand. All right, 100K, Cherry Bomb says 100K. Who's that? Rob says 100 grand. All right, PenCorp says 100 grand. All right, who is that? Trucking Diva says 100 grand. All right, Bad Daddy says 100K. All right, Woodrow says 100 grand. All right, Richard says 100 grand. All right, Cato says 100 grand. Craig says 100 grand. I want an 07 Acura TL, Ray. If you want an 07 Acura TL, that's very easy for you to get, my man. I'm going to break that down. I'm going to do the question and answer in a second. All right, Nick says 100 grand. Money Mike says 100 grand. I like that. All right. Somebody says you can buy a good used Cadillac for $2,000. Yes, explain how debt hurts your loan. All right, we're going to talk about that at the end. Okay. All right, so let's see here. Blue says 100 grand. Kendall T. Chuck says 100 grand. All right. Island Boy Trucker says 100 grand. Well, go on, Island Boy. All right. Otto Chris says 100 grand. Okay. All right. Kodak. Cody, you're going to have to ask the question again at the bottom. All right. The Grand, who is that? The Grind Queen says 100 grand. Okay. So let me show you guys how you're able to get 100 grand. If you are able to get one business credit card with a $20,000 limit, then you are able to get $100,000. There is something that's called 524. Write down 524. I'm about to tell you guys a lender secret. It's called 524. 524. A bank will give you up to 5 credit cards within 24 months without ever verifying anything if you do it the right way. I'm about to tell you guys a secret right now on how you're able to do it the right way. I'm going to tell you guys this is major sauce, okay? Major sauce. If you're able to get your credit score to a 680, now like I said, in my course, your credit score is guaranteed to jump 100 points. All right, so if your credit score right now is a 580, you could easily get to a 680 in about 60 days. That's just the beginning. I have some people, like I said, their credit score jumped 200 points. Young lady said she started in the 500, she was in the 720s. If you're able to get your credit score to a 680, that's thing number one. First minimum underwriting guideline. Second minimum underwriting guideline is you have a line of credit of at least $5,000. And I currently have 3 companies that will give you $5,000 as long as you're not in bankruptcy and as long as you don't owe child support. If you're not currently in bankruptcy and you don't owe child support, there's some companies that will give you guaranteed lines of credit. Yes, guaranteed lines of credit. And guess what? E.DeanCole Financial happens to be one of them. I have some great news. I am now able to report payments to the credit bureaus. And so I have $5,000 line of credit. I'm one. Come on, thing. Almost ran out of butane. $5,000. That's the second trick. First trick is to get 680. Second trick is to have at least $5,000. Once you have at least $5,000, there are certain bank and lending institutions that will give you $20,000. All right? $20,000 if you have those two minimum criteria. 5 times 20 is what? 5 times 20 is what? $100,000. And you're able to get this done. Once you have that criteria, you go to these 5 different companies. Guarantee, 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 guarantee. So now you're sitting on $100,000 for your brand new business, and you did it in roughly 3 to 4 months. All right? When you are able to use the different tricks of the trade and you understand the different rules and you know how to manipulate the numbers legally, when you know the rules legally, then you're able to create any and everything that you want. If you're able to just have those 2 minimum requirements. So I know people say, well, Dean, I can't do that. I don't have a 680. Then get a 680. Whatever is wrong on your credit, fix it. Now, if you're currently in bankruptcy, it's not going to be that easy for you. If you're currently in bankruptcy, it can happen. But if you're in bankruptcy, it's going to take you anywhere from 6 to 8 months. It's going to get to you all the way straight. I ain't going to sugarcoat it. I ain't going to lie to you, make it sound fly to you. If you've gone through a bankruptcy, it's going to be a little more difficult for you. It's going to be around 6 to 8 months. But if you have not gone through a bankruptcy, 3 to 4 months, you're good to go. Starting from scratch because of the 524 rule. And so this is the thing. Once you know those rules, you push the pedal to the metal. Once you know that you meet those underwriting guidelines and you know which banks to go for, you're going to go in to those banks, go into those lenders, ask for $20,000. They're going to give it to you, sight unseen. Boom, you're good to go because you meet the minimum requirements. You meet the underwriting guidelines. So that's how you're able to accumulate $100,000 business credit card that does not report to your personal credit. All right? Hear me. That does not report to your personal credit. That's 100% and reports to your business credit. Your first year in business. The number one reason why businesses fail is because they're underfunded. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. So I'm going to answer your questions right now. So some people ask some questions. So somebody says he has no credit. Who is that? So Bomb Cherry, who is that? What if you have no credit? Your son. Okay, so Bomb Cherry, if your son has 0 credit, then he needs to get credit. There's ways that you're able to get credit. Does your son pay rent right now, Bomb Cherry? Is it Bomb Cherry or Cherry Bomb? What's your name? I see that pretty smile, I get confused. Bomb Cherry. So Bomb Cherry, how old is your son? Does your son currently pay rent right now? So some person says, nigga, I'm not sure who he's talking to, but I'm definitely not talking to me because there's no niggas right here. There's a God right here. So it says business credit don't score in 5 to 600 credit scores. Stop lying. Okay, so let me explain something to you for the person who first doesn't understand that, one, I'm not a nigga, that I'm a God. That's thing number one. Thing number two is I said that when you have a personal credit score of at least 680. So what you don't understand is that Dun & Bradstreet has something that's called a paydex score, which is the same thing as a FICO. So you probably came in late. So you missed the trail on how we got here. All right. So the first thing that you need to understand is, one, you're not in the presence of a nigga, you're in the presence of a God. That's thing number one. Thing number two, you're talking to somebody that has been in the business for over 20 years. Okay? So what I'm telling you is not no hustle. I'm telling you the stuff that you don't know. Things that you think that you know, whereas I have originated and underwritten millions of dollars worth of loans for the entire career that I've had. So what you did was you took part of information and you ran with it, which is like what most people do. So the person that called me a nigga because they don't understand that they're in the presence of a God is that you're not going to understand this because this is above your pay grade. So what happens is this: your business credit is the way that I said that you have to have 5 payment experiences to get what's called a paydex score. That's what Dun & Bradstreet. Once you have a large trade line then you're going to trigger Experian credit. Experian credit is just like Experian. It's Experian Business, which is just like the same as Experian. So once you've done those things and you have the minimum requirement, like I said, of at least a 680 personal score, and you have at least a $5,000 line of credit on your personal, then you're able to go to these different banks and lending institutions because you meet those 2 minimum underwriting guidelines. They're going to give you $20,000 because of something that's called credit mirroring. And credit mirroring isn't the thing that you do when you try to mirror a chick to slide in her DMs. Remember, you're in the presence of a God, not a nigga. All right? So let me go back to Bomb Cherry, who was asking a legitimate question. So Bomb Cherry, so your son pays rent to you. So your son can actually report his rental payments to the credit bureaus. There's a company that's called Rental Karma. If you go to where am I going to put Rental Karma at? I have a link that will report for you, all right? There is a link that will report for you. Your son can actually report. He's actually able to report. It doesn't matter if he pays $150 or $200. See, what happens is this. Like I said to that idiot that thought he was talking to a nigga but did not realize he was in the presence of a God, is that your credit is what's called a quantitative algorithm, right? So it does not matter the limit. It matters the activity, all right? So it doesn't matter if you have $100 or if you have $1,000. Your on-time payment can report to the credit bureaus. It doesn't happen automatically, but there are companies that you can go through, and I think it's maybe 40 or 50 bucks, one-time fee, and then you get it to report. So if you have 0 credit, it's very hard. Having no credit is even harder than having bad credit. So I'm going to do a separate video next week where I'm going to actually have a course that I'm going to give away for free. So if you're watching this right now, look out for my video next week. I'm going to give out a free course, all right? It's going to be free 99, F-R-E-E. This was a course that I gave to a nonprofit organization, and they mishandled it. So I put it on lock. I put it on hold, and I have been in the process of working with some different lenders that report. People who have 0 credit. You can be a crackhead on the street and say, you know what, I want to clean my life up and start tomorrow. These companies will give you lines of credit. They report to the major credit bureaus, and if you use it the proper way, it's going to boost your credit score around 100 points. I had something that was called a 100-point credit boost. I gave to a nonprofit organization, and they used it the wrong way. So look out next week, and I'm going to drop a link to a free course, which is F-R-E-E, free 99, a free course that's going to teach you everything that you need to do, the basics and the beginnings to boost your credit score. So let me go ahead and answer some questions on the other side. All right, so Bad Daddy says, do I fix credit? No, I will tell you how to fix credit. Let me tell you the reason why. There are a lot of companies out there that operate as a credit repair company, and they operate illegally. So I can tell you how to do it, and it's very simple and it's very easy. So I have an online course that walks you step by step through the process. All you do is push this button, press this button, fill this out, boom, your credit is fixed. It's very simple. A lot of times people desire to be successful, but they don't desire to do what's necessary to be successful. So if you desire to do what's necessary, if you want somebody to just tell you exactly what to do, how to do it, easy, simple, quick, you can enroll into my course and your credit score is going to go up 150, 200 points. My course has 100% money back guarantee. You're guaranteed to get at least $20,000 in business credit, or you get a full refund. So that's the online. So the person who asked if I fix credit, I tell you what to do. So the reason why I don't do it is because, one, I'm not going to abide by those guidelines and those rules that they put under the stipulations because they're foolish. Two, I teach you exactly what you need to do on how you can do it yourself. People who say they can do it for you, it's just like this. Let me ask you a question. Can you go to a gym and your personal trainer says, I can get six-pack abs for you? Your personal trainer can tell you exactly what to do, what to eat, what not to eat, how to eat. They can look at your blood type, tell you the exact things that you need to do, and if you follow those things to the T, you'll have six-pack abs. But your personal trainer isn't going to say, okay, well, I will do these sit-ups for you and get you the six-pack abs. But now there are some different tricks of the trade. Just like how you can't go to a personal trainer, but you can go to Dr. Miami, and Dr. Miami will suck all the fat out of your body, all right, you'll have six-pack abs. But guess what? If you don't learn the discipline, this is the reason why you see all these Instagram thoughts and all these Instagram models like Bernice Burgos. Bernice Burgos' body is gorgeous. She bought that. She did not build that. She bought that. But notice, Bernice Burgos is always working out. You want to know why? Because she made the mind connection that after she got this body, she had to maintain it. The exact same thing. In my course, there are different ways that you can buy certain things that'll instantly make things happen, okay? You can buy certain stuff that'll instantly make stuff happen, but you still need the discipline so that you can maintain those things, all right? Now, if you go to the gym, you go to LA Fitness, it's going to cost you, what, $100, all right? If you go to Dr. Miami, how much is it going to cost you? $10,000, right? That's the reason why. Same thing. If you want to learn how to do it yourself, then yes, you can do it yourself. Go into LA Fitness. But if you go to Dr. Miami, it's going to cost you $10,000. Exact same thing. We have both situations. Everything understood doesn't need to be said. So if you want to be able to learn how to do it yourself, you can do it yourself. Or if you want to go to Dr. Miami, we can talk about going to Dr. Miami, how much it's going to cost you. We'll tell you exactly what it is, and boom, suck all the fat out. So let's see, let me answer some other questions. Very true. All right, how do you enroll? All right, Bad Daddy, the way that you can enroll, go to DCFIOnline.com. DeanCole Financial Institute online. Go to DCFIOnline.com and then you can enroll. If you come back to this video after it's done, there's going to be a link in the description. It's going to take you directly to my website. It's DCFIOnline.com or DCFIOnline.com. If you allow me to post this video, let the video post up, come back, there's going to be a link in the description. So if you're watching this on the replay, you can look at the link in the description, and the link in the description will take you directly there. All right, so let me answer some other questions. All right, so that's a very good question. So IFF says, does this apply to Canada? Yes, it does apply to Canada. The credit institutions are universal. Credit cards, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, and Discover, they are universal. There are different guidelines, though, for Canada. And we are coming up with a course that's specifically for Canada. There are a lot of people that want to be able to build their credit in Canada. We're coming out with a course that is specifically for Canada. That's going to come out in the fall, okay? So IFF Trucker, I keep reading that. I'm not even going to try to pronounce your name. In my mind, it says IFF Trucker. But if you wait for September, there's going to be a course that's specifically for Canada. All right, so let me ask, there's some other questions. Okay, so who's this? This is, Curio says, you just got your SUV repoed. How can you get credit the quickest? If you just got your SUV repoed, my advice to you is don't think about credit. Think about becoming stable. So if you just got your SUV repoed, why did you get your SUV repoed? Was it something that was just a bad streak and you're over that bad streak? Because this is the situation. You can go and get guaranteed lines of credit, but guess what? You're still going to have to pay for it. So my advice to you is put all your energy and efforts into getting financially stable. Get yourself to the point to where you can financially take care of your responsibilities. Once you get to that point, get to the point to where you can have an excess of at least $150. If after you pay all of your bills, all of your food, all of your gas, after you pay every single thing that you need to pay, and you're able to take care of yourself, if you have at least $150 left over, then start thinking about trying to repair and build your credit. Now, that's if you got into that situation and it was a bad situation, and now that's been rectified, been remedied, that's fine. Now, I'm not telling you how to become wealthy, how to become rich. That's a completely separate, specific conversation. I'm speaking in general right now. I'm not speaking in specificities, because there's going to be some people, some trolls that are going to come and say, how dare you tell somebody to build a business, and you know what, how you going to try to tell somebody to build a business they only got $150, then people going to go broke. I didn't say that. I said specifically for the gentleman who just had his car repossessed, we got to take baby steps. Got to go from glory to glory to glory to glory. Got to take baby steps. So I'm telling him what he needs to do to achieve his goal. So after he does that, he comes back to me and get further instructions. So I already heard it. I heard it in the spirit. The naysayers talking about how you going to tell somebody to build a business with $150. That's not what I said. I said specifically for that gentleman, take that one baby step, then come to me. We can talk about another step. So let me look on my channel. Okay, it looks like it's some people on my channel. All right. So after that, he had like that would have paid. Okay, let's see. Let's see what the troll said. The troll gave a paragraph. All right. So this person says, why would people include their personal credit if they are dealing in business credit? He says most people on here credit is bad. How do you know most people on here credit is bad? Like, how do you know most people? Like, that's your situation. That's your situation. Somebody says, so he says that most people on here credit is bad. How do you know what people's credit is? You're just assuming that because you're a troll and you're negative. All right. And he says that now, and the second thing is that the reason why your credit is bad is because of your negative mindset. So that negativity that you have in your heart and your mind is seeking out into your life. So you might be sleeping on your girlfriend's couch right now, or on your boyfriend's couch right now, or you might be trying to struggle to find some weed, or whatever your situation is, because your mentality and you have created this negative world around you. You cannot assume that everyone else's situation is that way. The second thing is that you miss in the conversation is that I was telling people how to boost their credit. See, what you probably missed, like I said, you're somebody that guessed. I've been working in banking and finance, like I said, for close to 20 years. So I can look at someone's credit profile and tell them exactly what they need to do, and in 30 days, boost their credit score 200 points. Whereas you are somebody that's guessing at the situation who do not know. Now, I was giving a shortcut on how you're able to build your credit in 4 months, okay? That because you are a novice and you don't understand this and you're getting part of the conversation. So what you're doing is you're looking at me, you're trying to find fault in me and trying to find faith in me. You're trying to discredit me instead of trying to understand what I'm saying. So what you do is if you take that negativity out of your heart and out of your mind, I can actually teach you something. But because of your negativity, you can never even reach out to me. You can't talk to me after this conversation. Like if you were to, and that's the thing about it, like when people throw a rock and hide their hand, they don't understand that they're cutting themselves off from somebody that's willing to teach them. I just gave you information that people will pay $750 to $2,500 for. I just gave you for free. But because you didn't pay that, in your mind, you think that it's not valuable. Okay? So now this is not for everybody, because I know people say, oh, Dean, you like to flex and floss. This is the reason why you need to flex and floss, because when you see stuff like this, when you see stuff like this, this is like the third one now, and this is not for people on TV channel. This is for the troll that's on my channel. See, when you see stuff like this, that this is a $20,000 piece of jewelry I have on my hand. So the reason why I'm flashing like this is because I need to feed your flesh. You need to look and see that I'm somebody that know what I'm talking about. I'm not in my mama's house or in my girlfriend's house. This is my house, and I'm puffing on this cigar myself. And I'm not saying this to impress you, but to impress upon you that I listen to people that have my answer. If I go to somebody that's a personal trainer and they 600 pounds, like me, I'm a big dude. I can't be no personal trainer. I ain't got it. But somebody that know about credit, finance, it's obvious that I got it. So I said all of that to say, for the person that's a troll that's saying things, oh, everybody's credit is bad. No, your credit is bad is because of your negativity. The reason why your situation is bad is because you just cut off a resource. I just taught you something for over an hour that people pay $750 to $2,500 for. But instead of trying to look for understanding, you were trying to undermine me. And so because of that, now you have cut yourself off to any situation and anything that I got going on. So I said all of that to say this. So for that individual who's trying to say, I don't understand and I don't know, welcome to your reality. You're stuck in the situation that you're stuck in because of your negative energy and your negative mindset. And you were looking to undermine instead of looking to understand. So instead of asking questions to understand, you are asking questions to undermine. And now I don't want to do nothing with you. And that's welcome to your reality. So that's where you are. So let me answer some more questions on this side over here. Sometimes you just got to floss and let them know. What's we got? Justin Chase and Andrew Jackson is in the building. Yes. That's your situation. Yes, that's right, Chasing Andrew Jackson. That is that person's situation. Now, I wasn't trying to. Now, last time I was live, I did that because I do that for the haters. You want to know why? The best way, the best revenge is success. And when you got a piece of jewelry that's $20,000 on your wrist, and this person probably sleeping on somebody's couch, if I saw somebody that had my answer, I'm gonna try to understand. Let me tell you guys something. Like I said, I am 35 years old. Oh my gosh, I wish I was 35. My mind going, man. I've been in banking and finance ever since I was 18 years old. All right? I've been in banking and finance ever since I was 18 years old. I am about to be 36 years old, so I'm coming up onto 20 years. When I bought my first real estate property, I was 19 years old. And the way that I bought my real estate property is because I had a mentor, somebody who had my answer. There was a gentleman, I talk about him on my vlog. I had a millionaire mentor, and he was very unassuming. He wasn't flashy. He's not like me. He wasn't flashy at all. Very unassuming. I mean, even to this day, he got tons and tons of money. And when you know what? He's like the dude, Russell Wilson. You know how people always laugh and joke about Russell Wilson, and he's probably one of the highest paid quarterbacks? He's like that type of person. Like he's a lame, quote unquote a lame, somebody you would not see and understand. But anyway, and he taught me the game. And what happened was that he was reluctant to show me that he was a millionaire because a lot of times people want what you have. They don't want your knowledge. They want what you have. But me, I was different. I said, you know what? I want to know what you know. Because if I know what you know, I can reproduce what you know. And that, from that point on, gave me a whole new outlook when it comes to meeting people. So like Chasing Andrew Jackson said, so that is that dude's situation that was trolling and hating. When you can be like Chasing Andrew Jackson, who's sitting on about $75,000 worth of business credit, and he's sitting on about $45,000, $50,000 cash caking, you know what I'm saying, enjoying himself, stunting on these haters and these trolls. You want to know why? Because he became a student and he studied the craft. He studied the craft. All right, good stuff. So let me answer some of these questions. All right. Somebody said you should have hid the SUV away from your house. Yeah. Somebody should have hid the SUV away from the house. Okay. All right, so let me answer some other questions here. Let's see some other questions. Okay. All right, so Dean says, talk to me. Who says that? Q-Dog. Okay, Q-Dog, ask your question, Q-Dog. All right, so MDS says, I'm in your course, and I heard you say that trucking and real estate businesses are high risk. My business name is Transportation in it. Do I need to change the name so you won't get red flag? That's a very good question. MOS 803. Thanks for being in the course. Mr. and Mrs. actually in the course. So, a couple things. So, transportation is in your business name. Transportation is high risk. But just because it's high risk does not mean that it is impossible. Okay? Just because it's high risk does not mean it's impossible. It means that they're just going to look at you a lot more closely. Now, my advice I teach on how you're able to overcome hurdles. It's already difficult depending on your ethnicity, depending on your race, depending on your socio-economic climate. I teach from the ground up on how you're able to start from the ground up. And I teach you how to overcome a lot of the obstacles. You can still have transportation in your name. It's just going to be a lot more difficult for you. Like, for instance, Chasing Andrew Jackson happens to be a client you guys know. He got turned down from Amazon, I think, 3 different times. The reason why they were being hard on him because his business name is JF Transportation. And it was just more difficult. We overcame those hurdles on what he needed to do to get approved, but they were very, very stringent and tough on him. One of the main reasons why is because of his name. But Justin started his business way before he ever knew who E.DeanCole was, and I just helped him go to the next level. So for you, even though if you're in the beginning stages and you want to change your name, yes, change your name. It means that they're not going to be as tough on you, but it does, even if transportation is in your name, it doesn't mean that you're instantly red flag. It just means that you're high risk. So high risk is different from red flag. It just means that they're going to look at you a lot more closer. Now, let's talk another further. When you are high risk, it's easy to become red flagged. It's easier. So let's say on a scale from 0 to 100, transportation will put you at 50. It doesn't automatically make you red flag, but it just makes you closer. All right. Same thing when it comes to trucking. All right. All right. Let's see here. Somebody said, much respect. Any advice for a new driver? Yes. My advice for you as a new driver, if you want to be, so who asked that question? That was Samuel Jason. If you are a new driver and you want to become an owner, build your business right now immediately. Start your business right now. Fund your business from your job. Start it right now. The longer you are in business, the easier it is to get approved. There are some lenders that will just give you money because you've been in business for 2 years. Once you meet because there's something that's called underwriting guidelines, which are different triggers. So it's kind of like video games, right? So let's say Call of Duty. Last time I played Call of Duty Black Ops. And in order for you to get to the next level, you had to achieve certain goals. That's what underwriting guidelines are. Once you achieve those certain goals, it takes you to that next level. So once you meet the minimum criteria and you've been in business for 2 years, and that is just going to instantly take you to tier 4 and 5 of credit so super easy. It just makes it so much easier for you. So my advice to you is that if you are a brand new driver and you eventually know that you want to own a truck and you want to become an owner, first thing is think a lot bigger than you're thinking right now. I talk to people that are brand new drivers and they say, I want to own a truck in 5 years. Why 5 years? Why can't you do it in 6 months? The only person stopping you from being successful is you. When you know how to be successful, think about it. If you had $100,000 right now, would you go out and would you start a trucking company or would you work for somebody else? I heard somebody say this and I think it was so trill. Trill is an African-American colloquialism which combines true and real for the people who might misunderstand and misappropriate how I speak. But trill was when you are an entrepreneur, you risk your money for your freedom. But when you are an employee, you risk your freedom for money. Say that again. When you are an entrepreneur and you are a boss, you risk your money for freedom. But when you are an employee, you risk your freedom for money. So think about if you had the ability to say, you know what, I can sit back. I'm like chasing Andrew Jackson. I got $75,000 worth of business credit. Then I got another $40,000 in cash. Matter of fact, quiet as it's kept, he actually supposed to be a little bit more than that. I need to check with him. My man been going through some things lately, and he been having a good old time out there. I've been trying to catch him and talk with him. We need to catch up. But last time I checked, he was supposed to actually get 2 new very large lines of credit from one of the lenders that we talked about. And so I'm gonna talk with him about that. But I said all of that to say, when you're in that situation, it makes it a lot more easier. Why you can be like chasing Andrew Jackson and go out and ball and have a great time and ball out with your beautiful girlfriend and get drunk on YouTube and all of that other wonderful fun stuff. You ain't got no worries. You understand what I'm saying? Because you have resources. When you have resources, then you have the ability to reach out and do a lot more. So that's my advice to you. So there's a lot of questions on my channel. Okay. All right, so let's see. So who is this? This is Carolyn Raven says, what if you have a network marketing business and it has the name travel? Does that make you have high risk? So Carolyn Raven, let me give you my advice for that, Carolyn. My advice to that, Carolyn, is one, I'm not the biggest fan of network marketing. I'm just going to be very honest with you. I'm not the biggest fan of it. The reason why I'm not the biggest fan of it is because it is just an illusion of entrepreneurship. You're still really working for somebody else. Because if the owner of that network marketing company got indicted or went under or there was some scam, what they could do is they could turn around and close down and you're stuck with square one. You really don't really own that business. So Carolyn, my advice to you is to Carolyn, would need to start a consulting business. So your name is Carolyn Raven. So let's say Carolyn Raven, I would suggest that your business should be CR Solutions, right? So CR Solutions is the name of your business. And under CR Solutions, you can offer different products. So CR Solutions need to be its own business because that is a legitimate business. CR Solutions can have lines of credit. CR Solutions can own property. CR Solutions can get corporate leases. CR Solutions can get corporate credit cards. Now, what CR Solutions does, if CR Solution does work with the travel club or work with motor club or whatever, that's the inner workings of your business. But your business, the way banks and underwriters and lenders look at you, they need to look at you as CR Solutions. That's my advice to you, Carolyn. So let's see, there's some other questions on my channel. All right, somebody says, thanks, Jason Green. Okay, good stuff. Okay. All right, you risk your freedom for your money. All right, well, you got to stop that, Ballers. Don't risk your freedom for your money. All right, who is that? Somebody says, I did it 2.5 years in trucking, not looking back. That's good stuff, Trucking Diva. No, don't look back. Don't look back. All right, Island Boy says, Dean, you can't wait to get back into the States and take my course. No discount needed. You support black business 100%. Thank you very much for that, Island Boy. I can't wait for it either. I'm looking forward to it. All right, so Blue says, do you have to report that business income from the first year of funding for your business from your job? That's a very good question, Blue. So let me explain that. So taxes and funding are two separate things. Your CPA, your accountant, is completely separate from your banker and your business consultant, okay? They have two separate ideas and two separate agendas. The first year in funding, a CPA or an accountant is going to want you to pay as little minimal taxes as possible. Let me tell you something. If you go to a bank and you say, let's just say, for instance, I made $100,000, right? But I cooked the books and left over, I only really made $15,000. In the eyes of the lenders, they're going to give you money based on that $15,000. They're not going to give you money based on that $100,000. So there's a different strategy when it comes to wanting to build your business. Now, if you are in your first years of funding, this is my advice, okay? This is very high risk, very high reward. Remember, no risk, no reward. Higher the risk, higher the reward. My advice to you is to do what Trump and every other entrepreneur and every other business owner does. Don't worry about the taxes. The taxes will pay for themselves. You are able to go through. This is a mistake that a lot of people make when they're businesses. Let me tell you some of the best advice I ever got. Believe it or not, even though I am very well educated, I'm very grateful to be very successful as an entrepreneur. I was a very troubled teen. I used to go to jail a lot. I get locked up a whole lot. So that's how come I have that short temper, that short fuse where I can get with these trolls real quick. And they was like, oh, I thought he was some herb or some nerd. No, I'm new to this. There's a reason why I work so hard to overcome where I come from. Let me tell you something that changed my life. I was around the same age as Kodak Black, and I hope Kodak Black goes through the exact same experience I had. I got locked up. I was locked up for 6 months. I've been locked up for a lot in my life. But this is one of the things that changed my life specifically when I was a youth, when I was very, very young. He said to me, you want to know what's wrong with you young people? He said, you want to know what's wrong with you young black folks? That's what he said to me. I'll never forget this. Changed my life. Because the reason why I got locked up was something stupid. So I used to run from the cops. Me and my brother, we used to race. And we used to have these cars, right? And in Atlanta, there's this expressway that's called 285, and 285 goes in a circle. So me and my brother, we used to race around 285. And y'all truckers, y'all know 285 ain't nothing but a real big circle. So we used to get on the expressway, we used to flow like, boom, we used to race around 285. And so I was running from the cops. I was racing and I was running from the cops. And I had a ticket, small ticket. But because I had warrants, because I was running from the cops, when they got me, they was going to sit me down. So they set me down. And the judge said, you know what? He said, you know what? You didn't have to go to jail for this. He said, why didn't you pay the fines? Why didn't you show up for court? And he said, and I said, well, I don't know. And so he said, I don't know isn't good enough. He said, you want to know what's wrong with you, young black men? He said, y'all have the ostrich syndrome. And at this particular point, he had already sentenced me to 6 months, and I was pissed off. And he said, do you know what the ostrich syndrome is? And I was so mad. I was so pissed. I had this huge chip on my shoulder. And I was like, what's the ostrich syndrome? He said, what y'all do is y'all see a problem, just like an ostrich. You might see a lion in the wild, and they will run far enough till they find a hole. And when they find a hole, they'll stick their head in that hole, thinking that out of sight means out of mind. And the reality is that problem is just like that lion. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean it goes away. And the reality is that that problem becomes a lot closer and become a lot more dangerous. Sentence me to 6 months in jail. So I said all of that to say this. The same thing when it comes to business, and when it comes to taxes, and it comes to funding. The reason why most people get messed up when it comes to their taxes is because they stick their head in the hole. They don't be on top of it. Did you guys know that you can do what Donald Trump did? The reason why Donald Trump doesn't want to show his taxes is because Donald Trump ain't paid taxes for years. When you're on top of it, when you try to hide from it, it becomes dangerous. But when you're on top of it, and when you come up with payment plans, and when you come up with what's considered a non-collectible status, which is a status from the IRS and a status from the government, you're able to be considered non-collectible in the eyes of the IRS and still get funding in the eyes of the lenders when you understand and know the game. But when you're out here by yourself and you're trying to guess at things and you don't have a business consultant or someone who can help you or guide you or teach you, when you go to Dr. Miami to get the liposuction instead of going to the personal trainer that teaches you how to do it yourself, guess what happened? You're going to find yourself at Dr. Miami again in another 6 months because you did not learn how to do it. So I said all of that to say this. If you're building your business and you're starting your business, don't worry about the taxes. Know what's going on with them, but get with somebody that's able to teach you all the tricks of the trade, all the loophole and guidelines so that you can maximize your success as a business, as an entrepreneur. Listen, the day you become an entrepreneur is the day you become a student. You're going to have to learn these things because they don't teach it to you in college. What they do is if you go to college and you get an MBA, they're going to teach you how to manage somebody else's business. They're going to teach you how to be a slave, and you're going to give up your freedom for money. You're going to go to school. They're going to teach you how to manage somebody else's business. They're not going to teach you how to start and grow your own business. The reason why I can stand 10 toes down and stand flat-footed and say everybody in my course is guaranteed $20,000 or they get a full refund is because I know the rules and the tricks of the trade because of life experiences, because of my years of experience working with the banks and knowing the underwriting guidelines. The reason why I can tell somebody that's watching this and they're from Virginia that their social security number, the first 3 digits, if they're watching from Virginia, is going to start with either 223 or 231 if they are if they're between the age of 21 to 25. If you're watching this and you're a little older in age, your credit score, your social security number is going to start with either 691 to 699. So it's either going to be 223 or 231 or 691 to 699 if you are from Virginia, born in Virginia. Like, Dean, how do you know this? Because of life experiences, and I learned and I became a student, and I am a niche specific on what it is that I want and what it is that I do. All right, let's see what Chase and Andrew Jackson is talking about. All right, he was laughing at me when I was talking about him having a good time. All right, good stuff. Hold on for a second. Let me see what Chase and Andrew Jackson. He says, I like my parents' house. Laugh out loud. It's nice and free. Yes, Chase and Andrew Jackson. Now, I did a post on Facebook, and I said, shout out to all the credit gurus. And I said, shout out to all the credit experts and credit gurus that stand at their mama's house. And Chase and Andrew Jackson, he chimed in on that. Now, he's not somebody I would consider in that platform. He's just a very smart, sharp entrepreneur and businessman that happens to understand the situation that he's in. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But if you're somebody that's trying to teach and trying to tell somebody, I need to be able to look at you and look upon you and see success. If I can't look at you and see success, then why should I look at you? Why should I learn from you? Like if I can't see that and look on you, like if I go get a personal trainer, my personal trainer is going to need to look like Vin Diesel, or he's going to need to be completely ripped, shredded. I'm not going to go to somebody who does not have success. Why? Like, why do I need to go to you? Like, prove it to me. I need to go with somebody that has a very winning track record. Prove it. Prove it. All right, prove it. Another life-changing experience I had, one of my mentors, he told me, he says, I can't hear nothing you're saying because what you are is speaking so loudly in my ear. The reason why I'm successful is because when you see me, you look upon me, you see success. I carry myself in a way. I speak in a certain way. I don't do it to not to impress you, but to impress upon you that it's because I've gone places, I've seen things. And the exact same thing when it comes to getting a personal trainer. Or like, for instance, Trucker Brown. Like, you guys see Trucker Brown's success. He is hauling he's a car hauler right now. Him and LoShawn are car haulers right now. People always talking about car hauling, how hard it is. Boom. They got in car hauling just like that. You understand what I'm saying? That's why you say, look at Chase and Andrew Jackson. Chase and Andrew Jackson got a sexy girlfriend. He always flirting around and showing off, getting drunk on camera, taking swan dives and a whole bunch of money. You see his success. I'm going to follow somebody like Chase and Andrew Jackson. But somebody who's like, I tell you what, I'm a red, white, and blue American trucker. I make 15 cents a mile. I'm red, white, and blue. Tommy Hawk gun behind me. I'm not going to listen to him. What he going to tell me? You understand what I'm saying? Look for people that have your answer, not so that you can exploit, but so they have the treasure. They know how to get to where you're trying to go. So, all right, I'm going to answer a couple more questions and I got to get up out. All right, so I'm answering 2 questions on Trucker Brown channel and 2 questions on my channel. So the first 2 right now, first 2 at the top. All right, next question. All right. Dean, what's my input on being a grown man still living at your mom's house? Please be real. All right, Samuel Jackson. Who's that? Samuel Jason? Was that Samuel Jason? I'm just going to be honest with you. This is just my opinion. Everybody's situation is different. My opinion, I've been out of my mama's house ever since I was 16 years old. That's just been me. I right now have a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bathroom house, 2-car garage, and I'm looking at getting a 6-bedroom, 4-bathroom, 3-car garage by myself. I'm looking at that right now. If the realtors, they told me 2 days ago that they dropped the price. If they drop the price, if you go to my Facebook page, I posted a picture of it. I'm going to take you guys with me, and I'm going to go and tour the house. And I'm going to do it on YouTube. I'm actually vlogging about it. On Tuesday, I'm going to go do that with the realtor. They just dropped the price. But I said all that to say this. In my opinion, if you are a grown man and you're trying to build a family, then I think that you need to go out and get your own. This is just me. Everybody's situation is different. If you are an OTR trucker, you don't need to have no house because you OTR. Why? Sleep at your house. Sleep in your truck. Go get hotel rooms. Is less expensive. You have to have a plan. Most importantly, whether somebody wants to be with their mother or not, they need to have a plan. Somebody needs to have a plan before they have their own place, because it's about being successful and it's about working your plan. Everybody's situation is different. Me personally, I expect for my sons one day that when my sons leave my house, well, one, my sons are going to be wealthy. They're going to be filthy, stinking rich. So they better have their own place. But at the same time, the reason why I'm looking at a 6-bedroom house on a full finished basement is because I want to know when my daughter ever needs a place to stay, when my mother needs a place to stay, my brother, like my house has always been the refuge because that's how I was raised. My grandmother's house was like that. So in the recesses of my mind, I want an estate home so that if anybody ever needs to come, they always have a place with me. So I said all of that to say everybody's situation is different. But honestly, my advice is that if you are going into manhood and you want to really be the man that you are, then I suggest that you do get your own place. That's just my opinion. So let me ask a question. That was on Trucker Brown channel. Let me answer a question on the next question. So this is from Ray. Who is this? Ray says, how do you go about getting an 07 Acura TL? Your credit score is currently a 644. All right, Ray. So if your credit score is a 644, that means that I suggest that you boost your credit score another 40 points. If your credit score is a 644, based on that number, how old are you, Ray? Ray, how old are you? You said how old? You said you're 19 years old, right, Ray? It's raining cats and dogs. I don't know if you guys can hear it or not. So, Ray, tell me how old you are, my man. I need you to tell me how old you are, because that number 644 means something. Your credit score means something. I can tell you what's on your credit with that number, but I need to know how old you are. All right, so Ray not saying nothing to me. Ray not saying nothing to me. All right, so let me get another question, because Ray not talking to me. All right, so Black says, Dean, is it true that business management and business consulting are two of the safest businesses in the eyes of creditors? Black, that is absolutely true. That is very correct. Business management, business consulting are the easiest, most unassuming, they can't have any harm. If in the eyes of the lender or the underwriter, they look like a old woman carrying a cart with glasses on, and she got a big gray bun on her head. Very unassuming in the eyes of the lenders and the underwriters. So business consulting and business management are the easiest way for you to do some of those high-risk businesses, like real estate, like trucking, like strip clubs, like sex shops, like smoke shops. These are different high-risk industries and high-risk businesses. And what most businesses do is that they'll cloak their business under something universal, and then they will flip it afterwards. There's something that's called a DBA, which stands for doing business as. DBA, the doing business as, is the marketing aspect of it after you have gone through the process of setting your business up the proper way. You get the funding, you get the financing, you get everything that you need, you're good, you're solid, then you throw in your DBA. Because that's what they do. Like in Atlanta, Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia is the home of the strip clubs. Everybody knows that Atlanta, Georgia is the home of the strip club and the nightlife. So what happens is that a lot of times if you wanted to start a sex shop or a sex business, you have to go to the Chamber of Commerce and go to a meeting. And when they go to the meeting and they go to the Chamber of Commerce, this is just a scenario. I'm not saying this is accurate. It might be something like MJ Solutions. MJ Solutions. Just say MJC Solutions. So MJC Solutions will get the permit, get approval. MJC Solutions will open up the business and take the cloak off, and MJC Solutions will be Magic City Strip Club. Because those are the different games that people play in order to get past a lot of the guidelines. So I answered that question. So let me ask you one more question over here. All right, 803 says something. All right, so Red Garcia says, I have a 620 credit score and you're 27 years old. Any advice I can give you? Yes. So because you have a 620 credit score and you're 27 years old, that sounds like you have a very underdeveloped line of credit or credit profile. You probably might have one, maybe two things on your credit. What you would need to do is you would need to get new lines of credit. You probably might have only one or two things on your credit. There are 5 factors that make up your credit score. My advice to you is to get items that are going to report to all 3 credit bureaus. 9 times out of 10, if you're 27, you have a 620, that means that there's some things that are on your credit report that are old, and some things that are on your credit report that are not reporting to all 3 credit bureaus. So my advice to you would be to go out and get 2 new large lines of credit. Like I said, next week I'm going to give you guys a free course. That's right, free 99. And in that free course, I'm going to give you access to some of my lenders for personal, not for business, but for personal, that are going to give you a guaranteed $5,000 line of credit. And then they're also going to show you how you're able to report your rental history to your credit profile. Now, let me tell you something about that and so how genius and wonderful that is. Hear me, okay? If you guys are listening, I want you to say listening. I got to say this and I got to get ready to go. So if you're listening, I want you to say listening. Write down listening, okay? If you're listening to me, I want you to say listening, all right? I got to make sure that you guys have my undivided, you guys have my undivided, so I want you to say listening, okay? All right? Say listening. All right, Ray, you say you're 19. I'm going to answer your question right now. So I want you to say listening. All right, I want you to say listening. Okay. All right, we got Iffy is participating. Samuel is participating. On my channel, we got Truck and Diva is participating. We got Bomb Cherry is participating. All right, Ruby is participating. CJA is participating. Blue is participating. MOS is participating. All right, Ray is participating. Samuel. All right, Gabriel is listening. Okay, so hear me and hear me clearly, okay? Hear this. When you know the rules, it is not illegal if you manipulate the rules for your favor, as long as you abide by the rules. Say, for instance, there's a company that can report and will report your rental history on your credit profile. The only verification that they do is your rental agreement and a phone call. Hear me. Let's say, for instance, hypothetically speaking, somebody has been staying with their mother, staying with their baby mama. Let's say this person has been staying with their baby mama. Let's say Pookie them been staying with Quita. And Pookie been laying down that pipe. To pay rent, all Pookie been doing is laying down that pipe. He been beating her back out. That's all Pookie been doing to pay rent is laying down that pipe. He been doing that for a year. Pookie wants to get his credit together. Pookie says, you know what, Dean? How can I make my credit go higher? Well, you know what? You can report your rent. Well, he's like, hey, all I'm doing is laying down this pipe. How can I report that? Let's say, for instance, if in Quita's mind, him laying down that pipe is the same thing as them 8 inches is the same as $800. So what Quita does is Quita writes up a rental agreement, $800 a month for the past 12 months. What Pookie does is he takes his lease agreement, he gives it to this one company. This one company is going to call his landlord. Who is his landlord? Quita, who he's been piping down 8 inches for 12 months. Quita picks up the phone and says, yes, Pookie rents from me. Yes, he's never been late on his rent. He always delivers on time. Hangs up the phone, and now Pookie has a line of credit of $800 that reports to the credit bureaus. When you know the rules and the tricks of the trade, it's not illegal. Has Pookie been paying rent? Yes, he's been paying rent. He's been laying that pipe down and got to put that to work in. Who's his landlord? He's staying with Quita. He has a legitimate rental agreement. The company called and verified. Spoke to a real person. No questions asked. Pookie's credit score jumps 55 points off of that one thing. Those are the type of tricks of the trade. It pays to have somebody that has been there before. Okay? That's the reason why I don't allow people in my program who are quote-unquote credit experts and gurus. I had to kick some people out of my course because they were trying to do what I do. The reason why I'm successful is because of my experience and my relationships with these companies, these banks, and these lenders. I can't have nobody profiting off of me, not paying $50 a month doing that. Because my course is only $50 a month for 12 months. It is a contractual agreement, though. But I can't, I'm not going to let you just, for $50 a month and you getting all this game and all this sauce, and then you turn around and charging somebody $150 off of what I'm teaching you out of the kindness of my heart. We ain't doing that. We ain't playing those games. So I had to get those people up out of the course. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you like this. This has been Cigars with the CEO. So, a couple of things. Thing number one, come back to this video and there's a link in the description that'll take you to DCFIOnline.com if you want to enroll. Now, I have told you a lot of the game. I've told you what to do. Now, let me show you how to do it. If you enroll into the course, I show you how to do it step by step. That's thing number one. Thing number two, next week, I am going to have a free course. It's free 99, free, F-R-E-E, that are going to give you the basics. This is a course that I gave to a nonprofit organization. I have revamped it. I've retweaked it. I've added some new things, some new companies to it. I'm going to give it away for free, free 99, free. You can go and take the course for free. Next week, that will be available for you guys. So, you guys enjoy your weekend. I have enjoyed talking with you guys. If you want to find me on YouTube, type in E.DeanCole, E.DeanCole, or hashtag Money Making Motivation. My channel is Money Making Motivation. That is my channel. I own a consulting firm. I own DeanCole Financial. And we teach you how to build business credit that's completely separate from your personal credit. And we also teach you how to build and boost your personal credit anywhere from 100 to 200 points. When fall comes, the cost of my course is going to go up because 9 times out of 10, I am going to get that big, beautiful house. And I am going on tour. I have a speaking engagement in the Bahamas. I have a deal with Carnival Cruise Lines And I'll be speaking Labor Day, September. I'll be in Florida. I'll be in Miami, September the 1st, going to the Bahamas, coming back on Labor Day, September the 3rd. That is a cruise with Carnival Cruise Line. That cruise, unfortunately, right now is booked up. I did not do a very good job of promoting that. I was waiting because my company now reports to the credit bureaus. So I'm able to report any and everything. So the $50 a month that people pay, I report for business and personal. Matter of fact, Justin, go into the group and fill out that form. So go into the group and fill out that form, Justin, because I haven't seen you. I know you haven't been in the group for a minute because you've been on vacation. So Justin Frazier, Chase and Andrew Jackson, go into DCFI Online, go into the private Facebook group, and there's a form. Fill that form out so I can go ahead and start reporting. So now that we can report when people want to go on the cruise and make payments for the cruise, they'll be able to report as well as a trade line. So the next cruise that is available for people to come on is going to be Jamaica. We're going to be cruising. We're going to bring in New Year's in Jamaica. Oh man, that's going to be good. So it's a business cruise. New Year's Eve, we're going to be going to Jamaica. We're going to be leaving out of, where is that coming out of? I think that's coming out of Lottie Dottie. I think it's coming out of Fort Lauderdale. But anyway, information for that will be available as well. And making payments on that is going to be able to report to the credit bureaus. But anyway, said all of that to say that I'm going on this speaking engagement in the Bahamas, September. Then I'm speaking at Howard University. The middle of September, I'm speaking at Howard University. I have a book that's being released in the fall that's called Black Owned, How to Start and Grow Your Black Owned Business. And that is going to be released. And so I'm going on a book tour. I'm speaking at several HBCUs, several historically black colleges. And Howard University is the first college that has signed me to speak in the fall. So I'm excited about that. When that happens, the cost of the course is just going to go up. For those three things happening back to back. Like I said, 9 times out of 10, I really want to get this house. Really, really excited about it. I've looked at it. They came down on the price. So I really do think that I'm going to get this. And if you want to see the house that I'm talking about, if you go to my Instagram, go to Instagram and type in E.DeanCole on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram, and you will see that big, beautiful house that I will get as a single man. But that, and then, like I said, new book is coming out. I'm starting my tour, and I'm just can't continue to give out such good quality content at such very inexpensive prices. It just do something to me. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I appreciate you so much for watching. Like this, share this, come back. If you're looking for me, E.DeanCole, hashtag Money Making Motivation, and I will see you guys later. Listen, the only person stopping you from being successful is you. And in the words of the great old Ricky, every closed eye ain't sleep, and every sleep eye ain't closed. Stay woke. Go get them. Success is waiting for you. Different one. Boom. End this one and end this one. Boom. There we go.